Imagine two separate computing processes independently racing to update the exact same memory address at the exact same microsecond. This collision corrupts the data and crashes the system. In operating systems, this scenario is known as the critical section problem. A critical section is a segment of code where a process accesses a shared resource, like a variable or a file, that must be protected from simultaneous access. To prevent data corruption, the operating system requires a strict architectural gatekeeper. It needs an algorithm to manage access safely, and any valid solution must guarantee three specific mathematical properties. The first is mutual exclusion. It must be mathematically impossible for more than one process to execute inside the critical section at any given time. The second is progress. If the critical section is empty, competing processes cannot permanently block each other from entering. The system must not freeze in a deadlock. The third is bounded waiting. Every process must eventually get a fair turn to execute. No process can be starved of resources indefinitely. Guaranteeing all three of these properties simultaneously using purely software logic, without relying on specialized hardware instructions, is notoriously difficult. This brings us to Peterson Solution. Developed in 1981, it is an elegant software algorithm designed specifically to solve the critical section problem for exactly two processes. The algorithm works entirely by manipulating basic shared memory variables. It uses these variables to trap competing processes in a logical holding pattern until it is safe to proceed. By tracking both a process's desire to enter and its willingness to yield, Peterson Solution provides a foundational model for how software can guarantee safe concurrency. The architecture of Peterson Solution is remarkably lean. It orchestrates the flow of execution between two processes using only two shared variables. The first is a Boolean array called flag, configured with two slots, one for process 0 and one for process 1. This array tracks intent. When a process sets its specific flag to true, it declares, "I want to enter the critical section." The second variable is a single integer called turn. While the flag array tracks desire, the turn variable dictates priority. It acts as the ultimate tiebreaker if both processes express their intent to enter at the exact same time. Looking at the code for process 0, the very first step in the entry section is to assert intent by raising its flag to true. Immediately after demanding access, the process voluntarily yields priority by setting the turn variable to the other process. This combination, aggressively declaring intent while immediately yielding priority, is the structural genius that prevents deadlocks. To see how this trap functions, we need to run an execution trace of the ultimate concurrency stress test, process 0 and process 1 attempting to enter the critical section simultaneously. Process 0 begins by asserting its intent. It executes its first line of code, setting flag 0 to true. At the exact same clock cycle, process 1 also asserts its intent, updating flag 1 to true in the shared memory registry. Process 0 moves to its next instruction. It yields priority by setting the shared turn variable to 1. A fraction of a microsecond later, process 1 executes its priority yield. It overwrites the turn variable, setting it to 0. Because turn is a single block of shared memory, it can mathematically only hold one value at a time. The final write operation wins, instantly resolving the race condition. The system is now locked in a specific state. Both flags are registering as true, but the turn variable is officially sitting at 0. This state is the critical threshold. With the variables locked in, the algorithm relies on its logic loops to enforce the rules and prevent a collision. The gatekeeper in Peterson's solution is the while loop. Each process must evaluate the condition. Is the other process's flag true? And is it the other process's turn? Let's evaluate this loop condition for process 0, based on our current memory state. Process 0 checks the first condition. Is process 1's flag set to true? Yes, it is. Then it checks the second condition. Is it process 1's turn? The shared turn variable currently equals 0. So this evaluates to false. Because the second half of this AND statement is false, process 0's entire loop condition evaluates to false. The trap breaks. Without being held in the loop, process 0 drops straight through and safely enters the critical section. Now let's look at the exact same loop evaluation happening over on process 1. Process 1 checks its first condition. Is process 0's flag true? Yes, it is. It checks the second condition. Is it process 0's turn? Looking at the registry, turn does equal 0. This evaluates to true. With both sides of the statement returning true, process 1 is caught in the while loop. It is physically unable to proceed, which definitively proves the algorithm guarantees mutual exclusion. Now we have to examine the resolution phase. We need to see what happens when process 0 finishes its work inside the critical section. To safely exit, process 0 follows a strict protocol. It must announce it is leaving by lowering its flag to false. This single variable change has an immediate cascading effect on process 1, which has been continuously spinning in its evaluation loop. The next time process 1 evaluates its trap condition, it reads the updated memory state. Flag 0 is now false. Because the first half of the AND statement is no longer met, the logic holding process 1 immediately shatters. Process 1 instantly breaks out of the loop and moves forward into the critical section. This seamless handoff proves the algorithm's guarantee of progress. When process 0 left the critical section, the system didn't freeze or require external intervention to keep moving. Furthermore, because process 1 was queued up and immediately received its turn without being bypassed, Peterson Solution mathematically guarantees bounded waiting. No competing process is ever starved of resources. Looking at this execution trace, the logic is flawless. But transitioning from theoretical perfection to the practical limitations of real-world computing, structural flaws emerge. The first major limitation is scale. Peterson's solution is strictly hard-coded to balance exactly 2 processes. It cannot effectively scale to manage the dozens of concurrent tasks required by a standard machine. The most severe performance drawback identified in the breakdown is a mechanism known as busy waiting. While process 1 was trapped in its while loop, it did not go to sleep. Instead, it actively consumed processing power, burning through millions of CPU cycles every second just to repeatedly check a Boolean condition. Modern operating systems handle blockages differently. Instead of letting a process spin endlessly, the system puts it to sleep entirely, removing it from the CPU scheduling queue until the required resource is freed. Because Peterson's algorithm requires a process to constantly poll for access, this pure software approach is highly inefficient for sustained, heavy-duty operations. Beyond software inefficiency, there is a fatal hardware flaw that renders the algorithm obsolete today: the transition to multi-core processing. Modern multi-core processors utilize complex memory consistency optimizations. To maximize speed, the hardware frequently reorders machine instructions under the hood. This automatic reordering breaks the strict sequential logic that Peterson's variables absolutely depend on. If the hardware flips the order of writing to a flag and yielding the turn, the mathematical trap fails and collisions occur. While it cannot survive execution on modern multi-core hardware, Peterson's solution remains an essential proof of concept. It lays bare the pure logic required to understand the advanced hardware-supported synchronization primitives used in operating systems today, like mutex locks and semaphores.